And of course, joining us right now, Michael Timberlake from our friends over at Timberlake and League.
Yes, and we actually do have a topic that we're going to talk about, but we already have a caller on the line, so I think we're going to go ahead and take the caller first.
Sure.
And then we'll go back as we wait for more. So, Howie, good morning to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi, I've got a question.
go ahead with your question.
I own some hunting land I bought many years ago, and I haven't been up there lately, but someone from a hunting club has told me that people have put a tree stand up there and are hunting up there. And I want to find out, am I liable if someone gets hurt up there even though they're trespassing, or is that a contributory negligence question?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question because, obviously if you've got property, you don't want anybody to get injured on your property, and you don't want to be responsible for any problems associated with it. In Alabama, the duty or the responsibility of the landowner is governed by the status of the person that's on the property. So if it's somebody that you invite on your property for a business purpose, you have the highest duty. You've got a responsibility to use reasonable care to make them safe on your property. If it's somebody that you invite over for a social guest, you only have a duty to warn them about known defects or problems on your property. In Alabama, a duty or a responsibility to a trespasser is none. You do not have a duty to a trespasser to warn them about problems, and you're typically not responsible for their injury if they're on your property. But you got to make them a trespasser. So if it's somebody that you know is coming on your property repeatedly and you don't warn them that they're a trespasser and not to come on your property, then they can argue that they're a social guest. So my best advice in that situation would be to go find the trees, figure out where the tree stands are, and if you want to remove the tree stands, you certainly can do that. But if you want to let them hunt your property, that's fine. Just put a big no trespassing sign on the tree where the tree stand is, and then they're qualified as a trespasser. Make sure you got pictures of it so that you can document it, and then I think you're okay.
Oh.
Great answer to that. I like the way you solved that too by just having the pictures up there as well.
Yeah, you can do things to protect yourself, but if you let people come onto your property knowingly, then they can say, well, I was really a guest.
Right. I want to remind you, the number 256-536-0077 is the one to call to get your legal questions answered here by Michael. But while we wait for another caller, we have another very timely topic to talk about, and that is what to do if you get hurt. We're talking ice-related injuries.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we talk about is there's a lot of stuff going on with this situation with ice, and I think Huntsville Police Department said there were over 200 car wrecks that they worked in the ice storm. Now, some of those claims are going to, hopefully most of those claims are property damage only claims and not injury claims, but those are certainly things that can come into play. You also want to look at claims that you may be able to make against your homeowner's insurance coverage if your property was damaged. If you've got leaky pipes, that's something that an insurance claim, homeowner's insurance will pay for it, as long as you notify them immediately and you inspect and make sure it's not something that's drawn out over time. If it's a sudden occurrence, typically homeowners insurance will pay for it, but if it's something that goes on for a long time, you're going to have a hard time getting coverage for it.
There's often that stretch of a pipe between the meter and the house we always hear about, where things go wrong and homeowners don't always know they're responsible for that stretch of what goes wrong. Can that often be covered by some kind of an insurance or some kind of a claim to somebody other than out of pocket?
Yeah, I mean, on your side of the meter, that is your water, and you've got to deal with that. So I would encourage everybody to go out and look at their meter. If the little triangle's spinning and all your water is off, you may have an issue, and that's certainly something that you want to address. If it's a major issue and it's caused by freezing, your homeowner's insurance would certainly be the first person I would talk to about it.
That's awesome. I know we had that happen to a couple of people here
at
our station, so
absolutely
timely information.
I hope everybody was safe out there, and I'm glad to be warm again.
I know. Bring on the 60s. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on again. It is always a pleasure to have you here. And remember, if you want to go ahead and give them a call, if you did not get your question answered, just go ahead and you have the number right there on your screen at 1-800-804-2502.